All right, greetings family. Bomani Timber here, and I'm here with my good virgin.
Azad.
All right, and what is your famous name on YouTube?
Oh yes, you can definitely check me out on YouTube. Zayloc23, Z-A-Y-L-O-C 23. Check me out.
Yes, family, and it's always good reasoning with my brother here. Very conscious and very cultural, and it's one of those things that we're always pushing to get our people more into the roots and culture, and we're always trying to get different perspective from our conscious cultural brothers to share things that's going on in our world. One of the favorite things my brother mentioned to me that he likes to do, he likes to travel and grow food.
Yes.
That's two incredible things.
Yeah.
Elaborate.
True. Okay, so pretty much as soon as I became into the spiritual consciousness journey, like pretty much my eating liberty changed. So I started eating more plant-based, and so I started getting more conscious, and I was just like, you know what? Maybe I need to go ahead and start growing my food too. Like, I don't mind, purchasing plant-based foods, but maybe I'll take it even a step further and I'll start farming my own food. So I started picking up experience in different community gardens around Atlanta, the Atlanta conscious community and everything. And then I started traveling. And so I really started growing like a really deep love, a deep passion for growing food, agriculture. And then I went to Jamaica, Virgin Islands, Ghana, everywhere I went, I was always growing food, always growing food. So I can maybe even build on the experience of going to the elementary school and teaching the children.
Well, absolutely, I definitely appreciate you sharing.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, so pretty much when I was in the Virgin Islands, I lived in the Virgin Islands for about 4 months or so, and it was actually an elementary school teacher. She actually asked me to come forward every Friday, and just like teach the youth pretty much how to grow food, speaking of agriculture and things like that. And so it's really good to plant those seeds in that young, fertile soil so that they'll grow up already having that experience, and they don't have to wait till later to get something so, like to build on something so much of a foundation of just something simple as agriculture or, things like that, meditation or, what I'm saying, just things simple like that. It's just good to get it young, so yeah, I would actually go there and I would teach the youth how to grow food.
Perfect, man. So people are looking for you to connect with you to different countries, to spread your program. Let them know how they can reach you, which we're going to have the information also in the description box of the video.
Oh yeah, for sure. So you can definitely reach me on Instagram at Wiselocks, WISELOCKZ. You can also reach me on YouTube, Zayloc23. You can actually go on my website, www.shop.mynaturalroots.com, and you can email me, mynaturalroots@gmail.com. That's how you can reach me.
That's perfect. Now, let's get into some other questions.
Okay.
With how it seems like you have had to start with you as at least somewhere in your teen.
Yes.
Wow, just to be conscious and be open to the world of Africa, Jamaica, the diaspora at that early age.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So, how did it really start before that? What was the initial things that you were involved in that led you up to that life?
Led me up to that. Pretty much what I would do, I pretty much became so-called like spiritually conscious or culturally conscious when I was 19. So I'm 25 now, so I've probably been in this liberty maybe about 6 years or so. And pretty much I was always one that, like I would always ask inquisitive questions, like, what is this? What is that? Or how come the sky is blue? Or how come this leaf is green? Or, just simple questions, but like still had depth to it. So, it was the same thing when I was in college, and that's how I became conscious when I would go into college and I wasn't really learning my true history. All I was learning, just like black people, African people, slave this and slave that, and we had to fight for our civil rights.
You get burned up with all that, right?
Yeah, it's just, I'm like, bro, like I know I'm worth more.
Like teaching you glorified slavery.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty much what I tell people that the school system does.
Exactly.
It teaches glorified slavery.
Exactly.
Yeah?
Exactly. So it's just like, I knew there was a glorification or just more of a greatness, of us as a people, what I'm saying, than what has been taught. So I started asking questions, like how I've always been asking questions. I was in my dorm room on my computer all the time. I started researching different comedic principles, symbols, things like that. And I was like, whoa, like they really never taught me none of this stuff in school, in the school system.
Like you probably never learned about Garvey in the school system, right?
Garvey, what I'm saying? Just
Definitely
all
no
these
Malcolm.
people, Queen Nzinga, Haile Selassie, Shaka Zulu, all these warriors, and you know.
And that's what I'm saying, family. It's like we have to educate our children. My son is in the first grade, and you know, it's public school, it's what it is. But he learns all of his African culture, roots, business, and things like that. So we as parents, we as men and women, brothers and sisters, have to take the lead into this. You know, and you're very fortunate because I was never exposed to any of the things that you were exposed to at 18, at 19, and things like that.
Yeah.
I was around people I shouldn't be probably hanging around with. But my journey of consciousness took a little longer. Up until I started the conscious journey when I was about 25, and now I'm 39, going on 40. So about a good, actually a good hard 14 years or so. But by the time this go by, and where do you see yourself in the next like 10 to 15 years?
In the next 10 to 15 years, I see myself having a foot in the Caribbean and in Africa. So, just one of those two. If I was to come to America, maybe come to America to just make a little money or just to, just to recruit people. But I do see myself definitely spending longer periods of time outside of the States.
Excellent. And you've been doing a great job at us making a move to where when you go somewhere, you basically stay for about a month.
Yes.
And you're in the AKA bushes.
Yes, Bushman. Because like a lot of people, like they travel and they go and see the so-called touristy spots and everything. But every time I travel, like when I go to Jamaica or the Virgin Islands or even in Ghana and stuff like that, like I was always in the bush. Like I'm never like in the touristy areas. I really like to, because like I'm pretty much like a farmer. Like I love agriculture, so I can't do agriculture in the touristy area. Like I'm always in the country, always in the bush, and that's where you get the real experience, the authentic experience. Authentic experience.
So how would people be open to, because most of the time when we try to get people to come to our country, it's like, all right, you have to provide all these things for them, because you mentioned to me a little while ago that tourism is easy, which is correct. It's like, if I'm looking to go on a trip, like I mentioned the trip that I went to Egypt with Ronoka Rashidi in 2004. It was just like, I didn't know much about traveling to Africa and doing anything, and that was like the comfortable thing to do, and that was the most beneficial. But my brother's basically saying that's perfect, but also another element of you connecting into, when you go into different parts of Africa, is spend a little more time in the country and go out to do things more sustainably, which is what we're pushing when we talk about building around like Benue village and then Techiman and more of like the agricultural sectors of different countries, to where you can use these hands and get back to work and get busy and build what you need. Because it's emphasis I'm trying to get our people to understand that we wake up every day and we see the America that we see. Most of what we are built, but the investment are not from us. So we end up realizing that our ownership is minimal, and then now we have an opportunity to be like our brother, use his hands to grow the food you need to grow, and then also do sustainable living. Are you a big on sustainable building?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like indigenous tribes, for instance, like the way how indigenous tribes carry themselves on the earth, like the way how they live, they're really harmonious with the earth, It's like a lot of the so-called modern building and the so-called modern living is very detrimental, to the earth. And, it's not just us that's going to be on this earth. Like maybe 1,000 years from now, what are you leaving, for the people, to come. So I feel like sustainable living, it keeps the earth harmonious, and it keeps us harmonious with the earth as well, So I feel like that's the healthiest way to treat the earth.
Definitely well said. Definitely well said. I want you to share some of your top-notch professional travel tips to encourage people to travel.
Oh, top-notch. Okay. So basically, the first thing that came to mind, right? Don't be so quick to just book a hotel, but kind of see if there's any guest houses. Hotels, they usually cost a lot more, but try to see if there's cheap guest houses that you can stay for like a night, too. It really depends on how long you're going to stay. And then also too, always having relationships on the ground waiting for you. If you can, help them, at least get them to pick you up from the airport. always have those relationships. You know, don't never go out of country and say, yeah, like I can do this. I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna rough it. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, like we need, you know what I'm saying? Like we need, those relationships because, like no person is an island. So we all have individual talents that we can all bring, so I definitely would say always have a relationship established wherever you're going on this world. You know what I'm saying? Take a friend with you. If you're not taking a friend, always at least have a firm and a trusting relationship ready for you on the ground before you touch down.
Absolutely, family. And in this case, when we're dealing with Ghana, that's what people like myself specialize in. Our Africa for Africans tourism investment business operation is basically that connection. We help you get prepared and be clear about the roots and culture and be clear on what you're looking to expect. That way you don't run into a situation where it's like an ambush. We've been celebrating a decade, 2006 to 2016, of just our commitment to our African brothers and sisters in the African diaspora and our brothers and sisters on the African continent, and really just connecting us so we can grow and build together. And so family, before we close, I want our brother just to share some more incredible experience of your last travel to Ghana and why Ghana is that country that you feel at home.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, so basically, we all know the history and everything, of the so-called slave ships and everything, and about Africans in the diaspora. So I feel like Ghana, along the mouth of Africa, Ghana was actually the most concentrated where Africans were held before they were shipped out to the Western world. So the Elmina, Cape Coast, stuff like that. So there were other so-called slave capsules or dungeons along the mouth of Africa, but Ghana was the most concentrated, So I feel like it was needed for me to go to Ghana in particular, and because I had a lot of relationships waiting for me on the ground to go to Ghana as well. So when I got there, I just felt just instantly at home, where I was just like, whoa, like everyone looks like me. You know what I'm saying? Like it felt like it was a land of just melanated people, of people who have a higher melanin concentration, and it felt like home to me, because we're here in America and it's like a melting pot where it's people from all over the world here, but you actually go to a land where you see people that look just like you, so that's why I felt like it was home, and I walked through the doors of no return. So I returned for my ancestors,
That's powerful, brother, and family. And that's what we're talking about. When you go to a country like Ghana, you must reconnect to those portals of where our ancestors were housed and shipped across the Atlantic, shipped across to the Americas. So family, in closing, my brother, once again, definitely appreciate your energy and appreciate you dropping some knowledge and sharing your experience, because it's definitely a great experience, and we letting people know that it's different ways to travel and to connect, and it's just not one or two different ways. So I'm hoping that the people that are listening really got a lot of different ideas of how they can make some of the move based on your experience traveling at a younger age, and most of us travel and experience Africa.
True. So definitely give